Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizky Wahid. I'm from Tibet, Farsi, and I will tell you a story with the title Shadow of Mother's Help. Once upon a time, in a city, there was harmonious family. She is Martha, who has parents Liam and Sally. She has younger brother named Dustin. Dustin has graduated from elementary school while her sister was in college. But the family has lost a mother. Sally has had an accident with Liam. Liam can be helped and recovers quickly, but Sally can be helped by bleeding from the head. Martha and Dustin have lost a mother they love. Because Martha still couldn't believe her mother was gone, she tried to contact her. Every time she tried, it failed, until she finally got an answer. Martha was very happy even though she didn't understand the answer. But she got the answer not from his mother. Every time she fell asleep, she always dreamed of calling his mother. In her summoning, she was in the midst of endless darkness. Nothing to see here, until something feels weird about it. She kept calling his mother, until finally came a strange figure who moved quickly in front of him, startled her until he woke up from her sleep. She screamed loudly. Liam came and accompanied her until the next morning. The sun was up and she had registered for the theater audition last Sunday. And on that day, it was also time for her to be tested to see what she had. To wait when called, she practiced backstage. As she memorized the script, she saw someone waving in at him at the top. Then she looked around him. There was no one. Martha looked again, but didn't see anything. I don't know if it's someone or not. Martha's name was also mentioned by the judge, a sign that it was time for her to show her talent. Previously, she had prepared himself, but because of the wave earlier, she failed the audition. Martha was still confused why she didn't memorize the script. Then she walked to the highway at night. She saw again the figure of the wave in the middle of the deserted street. She kept looking at the waiver in the middle, until finally she was hit by the car at high speed. In her unconsciousness, she could only feel the chill of the day's temperature, but it wasn't long before the shadowy figure came to her again, just like before. She immediately woke up from her death. Then she lay with both legs broken in the accident. After being declared cured, she can be taken home by her father using a wheelchair. Her leg was still bandaged and still not fully healed. On her return, it was seen at her house that a neighbor had welcomed her. Martha was very happy with the welcome from some of for her neighbors, who were still cheering her on. One of the neighbor's friend has given a small gift for Martha's return. Then Liam escorted Martha back to his room to rest. Night came, Martha almost fell asleep, but she was disturbed by the sound she heard from above. The sound was likely the sound of someone's feet, but the impact made of the roof of the bed cracked instantly. The voice was heard by Liam, and immediately he went upstairs to his house. On the second floor of his house, there are only old items, and the place is their warehouse. Since very dirty food rests there, he calls a neighbor, but the neighbor doesn't believe Liam's word. Every night, Martha always has nightmares, and that made Liam and his little brother feel worried about Martha. Liam can Liam could only hope that his daughter's nightmare would just disappear from his mind. But one night, Martha disappeared from Liam's watch. At the time, Liam wanted to give a glass of mineral water to his daughter, but when he entered the room, his daughter was gone. Liam was shocked and immediately looked for his daughter. Due to Liam's loud screams, Dustin woke up from his sleep. Liam told his son to call the police immediately. Meanwhile, he was looking for a room in the house. The call from Dustin did not get a good response from the police. It could be considered a joke. Liam is very worried about the whereabouts of the princess. Suddenly, Martha showed up loudly on the second floor. Hearing this, Liam immediately ran to his son with Dustin. Martha lay in the middle of the barn, crying. Her neck looks a little strange, and there is slight lump on her head. Liam called the doctor over the phone. The doctor came and put the bandage on her neck and head. Martha also told what happened to her. Dad, Dad, said Martha, scared. I'm here, Mother. Are you okay? Liam asked worriedly. I saw the figure of a masked man who looked terrible drag me up. I'm so scared, Dad. Relax, Martha. I will always take care of you with Dustin, explained Liam while hugging his doctor. No, take a rest. I will accompany you. Liam also plans to find someone who has been trained to deal with this like this. Dustin, his son, found a website that could help his father to solve the nightmare that had been experienced by his beloved sister. They are called paranormal. Liam immediately contacted and they received a request from Liam. They came into afternoon and went straight to Martha. The paranormal gives Martha an infrared camera when she moves from her bed. Night fell and Martha began to drift off to sleep. The paranormal also began to prepare equipment in case something happened. Suddenly, seen on the monitoring screen, the camera attached to Martha was running by itself. Soon, Liam and others followed the direction of the camera was shown, but they didn't find anything. Only camera lying on the study table. The door closed by itself, and Martha appeared with black eye, a sign that Martha was possessed. Martha also hit and kicked them with legs. They were still not fully healed. The bandage she had wrapped had just crumpled. Liam saw the action of the daughter could not bear and immediately held his hand, assisted by other paranormal members. Dustin woke up and immediately helped his father by providing a rope to tie Martha. With its the usual way didn't work to save Martha, there was only one other way to save Martha. That is to enter another world and bring Martha's soul back to her body. The person who can do this is Harlan, the head of paranormal. Harlan immediately carried out his duties by carrying out rituals. They all gathered in one place and carried out the ritual. Holding the hands of the unconscious Martha and the others, Harlan began to recite mythical words. He began to enter another world, searching for the whereabouts of Martha's souls. Harlan leaves her body, going around each room. Harlan saw nothing. He went straight to the second floor, where the place that Martha often talked about when she was hit by a terrible terror. Suddenly, there was a mysterious figure with a mask on his head. Just like Martha's story, Harlan was worried that Martha had been taken. He shouted loudly, "Where is Martha? Horrible ghost!" The figure that growled in his indistinct voice. Suddenly, Harlan was thrown in the corner of the room. The figure stomped his foot on the floor, causing the house to shake violently. In the real world, Liam and the others also felt a great shock. Spontaneously, Liam shouted at Harlan. Harlan ran and pushed the masked figure. The pounding stopped for a moment. The masked figure clapped his hands. Perhaps he was calling another person. It was in there, the soul of Martha. Immediately, Harlan took Martha and brought her back into his body. But the masked figure did not allow his pet to be taken away just like that. Bit after bit, he sprang up, making Harlan bothered to bring Martha. Just as they were about to enter the room they were using, a masked figure blocked them. Enraged, Harlan kicked the figure into the hole. Harlan immediately brought Martha's soul close to her body. He returned to the real world, but it wasn't finished yet. Martha's soul was pulled by the figure again. Harlan could no longer enter that other world. Then Harlan shot at Martha's body along with the others. "Martha, don't let your ghost take over you," shouted Harlan. "Martha, my son, come back to us, son," said Liam with tears in his eyes. "I know. Liam, who is your wife?" "Her name is Sally." "Okay, Sally, have your child there." The scream entered Martha's ears there, but it's still not enough to be free from the grip of the masked figure. Suddenly, a woman appeared with a light all over her body. She went to Martha and gave a hint. Martha came to her senses. She immediately took the mask that the figure was wearing. The figure immediately screamed and disappeared by itself. Martha has been helped by her mother's help. She immediately hugged be his mother, body in another world. Sally suddenly left and indicating the time was up to help her little daughter who had grown up. Martha was very grateful and returned to her body. She immediately woke up from his long sleep. Liam and Dustin immediately hugged Martha happily. I will not meet mother again. I'm satisfied, explained Martha. That's good, my girl. Don't disturb mothers there, said Liam. It will make mother feel disturbed in eternity. They are back in their old life. Martha in her studies has achieved a thesis and also has fully recovered from her broken bones. Dustin has entered his new school and has made friends he can trust. Liam is still an out of work dad. Meanwhile, the parallel group got some others to clear. So the story is end. So that's my story, and sorry for my mistakes. Thank you for listening until the end, and goodbye.